Plaintiff Elizabeth Butler started dating the defendant after they met on an online dating site. But a month into the relationship, she started to suspect he was cheating. Elizabeth claims she went through the defendant's phone and found flirty texts he'd written to other women. Elizabeth suing her ex for the balance due on several loans. Defendant Timothy Burks says Elizabeth went through his phone just 2 weeks after they started dating. And although he wanted to break up with her, he decided against it because the sex was so good. Timothy insists he never agreed to repay Elizabeth.
Start with you.
All right. I'm a big-hearted person, and I always try to help everybody I can, and that tends to mean I get burned a lot as well. And Timothy is one of the people who I've helped and who has burned me. We met in December of 2012 on an online dating site and met in person shortly after that. We got along really well. I even introduced him to my daughter, and they got along well, so I thought the relationship was doing pretty well. And I had started to have suspicions in the next month or so that he might be cheating on me. And
a month after what?
After we started dating. And then one day while he was at my house and he was sleeping, I chose to go through his phone, which wasn't my best moment, but I did it to confirm my suspicions that he might be cheating. And I found flirty text messages in his phone to other females.
Saying what? Flirty, how do you interpret that?
Winking faces and talking about meeting and stuff like that. And then I actually texted them with his phone and said, hey, do you know he has a girlfriend? One texted back and said she had sex with him the month before. One had said she didn't care, and the other one said she just didn't know. Once he woke up, I confronted him about it, and he said they were lying. And so I chose to believe him and just go ahead and ignore it for the time being.
Okay, before we get to the loans, let me allow him to give some background. Sir?
Initially it started, to me, it wasn't an exclusive relationship just at that point. 2 weeks, like I said,
2 weeks later?
2 weeks later, she went through my phone and started going through these text messages and started talking to these girls, and that was the red flag for me at first. I was like, I really kind of wanted to break it off, but then I decided, no, I'm going to stay because, to be honest, the sex was good. So I stayed with it for the course. We stayed together, and about a month or two went by, we became exclusive, but she was still acting like, I was cheating on her, still questioning me. She still had trust issues with me all the time. So I was getting ready to break it off with her in February, but then she told me that she won Tim McGraw tickets. So right there, I was kind of...
Got another reason to stay.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not missing Tim McGraw because he's one of my favorite artists, so I stayed for the course on that one.
Stay with her for Tim McGraw.
Plaintiff Elizabeth Butler is suing her ex-boyfriend, who claims he only stayed with Elizabeth because the sex was so good.
Go ahead, sir.
The straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that in April, she texted me from an unknown number. She was claiming to be some other girl that because when the text messages started, it was like, do you remember me? I was like, who's this? I don't know this number at all. Then she claimed to be a girl named Tiffany that I'd apparently slept with about a month and a half ago. And that right there, I figured out that it had to be her because of the fact that I don't know any Tiffany's.
Oh, okay.
So I decided to play her little game, except I decided to play it better. So I went on with the conversation, and we agreed to meet, to have sex and whatnot, have a good old time again. Well, when she got to my house, I wasn't there. There was nobody at my house. So she sent me a text message saying, there's nobody at your house. Where are you? I was like, well, this girl showed up at the house, so I left with her because I thought it was you. So this apparently, irritated her. So she's like, well, where are you at? So I can show you what we're missing. I told her I was at a local bar, and then I said, can I ask you a question? Are you into other girls? She said, yeah, sure. So I said, all right, I'll see if I can talk this girl into having a threesome with us. Let's make this night real fun. She agreed and whatever. And, a few moments went by. She's texting me saying, she's getting tired of waiting and whatnot. Then she finally gives up and leaves the house and says, I got tired of waiting and I left. So I told her, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but say hi to Elizabeth for me. She asked, who's that? I said, give it up. Your voicemail says Elizabeth.
Gotcha.
So
So you caught her, you put the game back on her.
Exactly. Yes.
Ma'am, you want to tell me about this little game he caught you in?
Right,
Let's see it, please.
Thank you. Just read the highlighted ones.
You want to tell me about that, how you thought you were duping him and he duped you?
I did try to see if he would fall for that, which obviously he didn't.
In fact, he turned it around, had you falling for another woman.
And before, no, I was playing along as well and seeing what he would say.
How does he owe you for these loans?
Well, the first loan started on, I actually have a breakdown here for you.
I see it, please.
It started on February 18th was the day I took him to the emergency room. And he got treated by the doctor and was written a prescription. I agreed to pay for the prescription as long as he paid me back once he went back to work, which he had one prescription for $95. And
what was the other loan?
$55. Then I gave him 3 cash loans because he was not working at the time. Each were $100.
Okay.
And then I also purchased him some shirts for work, which was $24, and bought him miscellaneous items, which came out to $534. And I have an agreement signed by him after we broke up, stating that he would pay me back $100 per week.
Did he pay you back anything on it?
He has given me 3 payments, 2 of $100, 1 of $40.
Okay, sir, what do you say to that?
I don't remember signing any agreement.
Oh, okay.
To be honest.
You have your driver's license? You compare that and determine that real quick. This is a very distinct signature. It's in someone, very difficult to make this signature up. You a doctor? You say like
No.
Yep. Exact duplicate. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day. That's an exact duplicate.
I have no hard feelings. I hope, he's happy and that he has a nice life.
I'm just glad to be done with all this. Just, put it in the past.
Trying to get your criminal record expunged and don't know where to start? Go to my website, askjudgemathis.com, to get all the help you need.